That's it. Welcome. Jamie Chalifoux Nitsigasun. My name is Jamie Chalifoux. I'm Indigenous Education Coach for Juice Art School, Prairie River Junior High, and Prairie View Outreach. So I thank you for joining me today for my session on Earth Day. And I'm going to share my screen to a PowerPoint I have. And we're going to share my whole screen and we're going to pull up this Earth Day PowerPoint. And it's Earth Day today, April 22nd. And what I learned today was we have been celebrating Earth Day for 52 years. The first Earth Day started in 1970. So, and today is April 2022. So for 52 years, we've been observing Earth Day, which is amazing. I think it's a beautiful thing. And we need to celebrate and create awareness around this day and what we can do to improve life on Earth, how we can help Mother Earth. And before we get started here, I want to share a couple words with you today. So in Cree, our word for Earth is Uskie. Uskie. Can you all say Uskie? Uskie. Okay, and the Cree word for day is Gisigao. Gisigao. Everyone say Gisigao. Okay, so we're going to put those two words together. Uskie Gisigao means Earth Day. And it's so important to celebrate because Mother Earth takes care of all our needs, right? It provides our water, provides the air we breathe. It provides all our food, our shelter, our clothing, everything we need from the day we are born until our last breath here on Earth. In our Earth journey is taken care of by Mother Earth. And we call it Earth journey, right? And that's talking about my life. So my Earth journey, my Earth walk here, all my needs are taken care of by Mother Earth. And it's so important we celebrate and be mindful of what we do to Mother Earth and how we walk and how it affects others. Okay, so that's kind of what we're learning today and celebrating. And today's session is about a story, a traditional story. But before we start in that story, I want to get us into a good place to learn. So we're going to set our mind at ease and help ourselves feel better. So how we're going to do that is we're going to take some bumblebee breaths. Okay, so we want you sitting comfortably. If you're on the floor, you can cross your legs. If you're at your desk, just relax. And we're going to breathe in through our nose for a count of 4. And we're going to breathe out through our mouth, making a buzzing noise. Okay, so breathing in, breathing out. Bzzz. All right, good job. So once again, breathing in for a count of 4. Breathing out. Bzzz. Okay, so I want you to pay attention to those vibrations in your mouth as you're doing the buzzing sound. Okay, so this time we're going to close our eyes and same thing, breathe in through our nose. 3, 4, and breathe out. Bzzz. And just paying attention to those vibrations when we make the buzzing noise. Okay, last one. So this time we're going to count in. We're going to breathe in for a count of 4. We're going to have our eyes closed. And when you breathe out this time, I want you to put your fingers in your ears just gently, and then pay attention to that sound of the buzzing. Okay, so here we go. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. Bzzz. Okay. Oh, thank you, boys and girls. You did awesome with that. And that's just a way to help us feel better, right? To set us in a good place to learn. So that is called bumblebee breath. And there's all kind of breathing techniques you can learn to do, and they just help calm our mind, calm our body, and help us be in a good place, ready to learn, take care of our wellness. Okay, so now we're going to move on. It's our story time. Okay, so a long time ago, as Cree people, our stories weren't in books, right? So I'm holding up a book here. So our stories weren't in books. Our stories were told orally. So people told the story and you had to listen very carefully so you could learn the story. And so you could pick up the teachings in the story and maybe one day pass that along. Okay, so before I begin though, when I tell the story, this traditional story, we're going to be using Creator's gift. So Creator gave me these 2 ears, right? We can listen really well. So we got to listen very well to the story using these Creator gifts, right? And they say that Creator gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth so we can listen twice as much as we talk. So we listen, we think about what we're hearing, and then we can talk and respond, right? And the second gift Creator gave us that we're going to be using is this up here, not my head, but my mind, right? My brain. And that's the most powerful tool Creator gave us. And it's so powerful. And when I'm telling the story, I want you to use your mind, your imagination to imagine this story, right? And I have some pictures and the slides we're going to go through that'll help you see, but I want you to imagine the story taking place. Okay, so this story is how honeybee got its stinger. So Kayas, a long time ago, when the people were able to talk with the animals, the Creator would visit them. The people asked Creator for something that was sweet to taste. So Creator made Amu, the bee. But the bee wasn't like it is today. It had no stinger. So down came the bee, and it found a suitable tree in which it could build their hive. In the hive, provided a place for bee to live in, a place they could make honey, Amu me, and they could multiply and feed its young. All right. So in this slide, on the first picture on the left is the bee that Creator sent down. And you notice he's on a flower, but if you take a good look at that picture, you can see that flower is on a tree branch, right? So at this time, the only flowers available were on the trees. So it might be like a lilac tree, a Saskatoon tree, any tree that has flowers, right? So soon, the people came to the bee to ask for some of its amume, the honey. And Amu gave each person a container full of honey. Right, so bee was so generous, he gave everyone a container full of honey. He shared what he had. Okay? And the people loved the honey and ate it greedily. They munched it right up and they loved it. And then they went back to Amu for more. But the bee replied, I have no more to give you for a while. You're going to have to wait. The people were not happy. As they craved the sweet syrup, so the people went to Creator saying, the bee does not give us enough amume, not enough honey. We want more. So the Creator listened and sent down Wapigwani, the flower people. So the flower people began to spread all types of flowers across the land, giving the bees greater access and variety of flowers to pollinate and make more honey. The flower people spread all kind of beautiful wildflowers around to attract the bees, bright blue, red, orange, purples, yellows, right? And the flower people were so smart because they knew if they had these bright, beautiful flowers, that Amu would be attracted to it. The bee would be attracted and it would spread and more flowers would grow, okay? So because all these flower people spread all over, more bees were created to help pollinate the flowers. And the hive grew and grew and grew very large. The people, seeing how big the hive was, went to get more of the sweet syrup. So the bees gave all the syrup to the people, but kept enough to feed their little ones. And again, the people ate up all the syrup and they wanted more. Amu responded, we don't have any more. You will have to wait. The people were angry and the people were angry and asked the flower people to make more flowers so they could have more of the golden syrup to eat. The flower people responded, we made all the flowers we could and they are all pollinated. You'll have to wait until spring. No, said the people, we want more now. So they went back to the bees' hive and they tore it apart, hurting many of the bees and taking the syrup. Okay, so the people went and they broke up the hive and they just took the honey. Now the bees were angry and they asked Creator what to do. Creator was also annoyed at the behavior of the people. So he told the flower people to create some rose bushes and for the bees to eat the thorns. So the flower people made these beautiful wild roses, the thorn bushes, with all these thorns on them. And bee went and listened to Creator and it ate the thorns. And as it ate the thorns, these were transformed into stingers. Now the flower people created an entire rose patch around the bee's hive, around that tree. There was just roses everywhere around that tree. Right? So the next day, the people came back and started towards the beehive for more syrup. But the thorns around the tree scratched and tore at their bodies. Some of the people made it through the thorns to the hive, and they were all covered in scratches all over, right? And they yelled at the bees, give us more syrup now, or we will do the same as we did yesterday and destroy your home. The bees became angry and a loud hum came out of the hive in the tree, and out they swarmed. Bzzz. So all the bees came out and they stung the people all over until they were covered in welts and sent them running. So after the bees ate the thorns, there is their stinger, their new stinger Creator gave them. And now those are the welts that people got on the picture on the right. So when we get a bee sting today, that sting burns and it itches and it swells up and it's really hot. And that was the Creator's way to give bee a way to protect their hive and their honey, right? Because the people weren't respecting them. So now after that day, when the bees stung the people, since then, the people always treat the bees, the flowers, and the plants with great respect. And they always promise to replace whatever they ask for and never be greedy or take any more than they needed. All right, so that's the story on how Amu got its stinger, right? And it was because the people were taking too much. They were greedy. So now bee has a stinger, now they have to respect. And I just want to share a quick video here on more facts about the bees, just so you can have a better idea of just how important Amu is.
From pollinating plants to making honey, bees do so much for our planet. Here are our top facts about bees. Fact number 1. Bees can live in a huge array of habitats, from marshes, sand dunes, and soft cliffs to heathlands, wetlands, and chalk grasslands. Fact 2. The bee's buzz is a sound made by their wings, which beat 11,400 times per minute. Fact number 3. Bees actually have 4 wings, 2 wings either side of their body, which hook together to form a pair when flying and then unhook when they're still. Fact number 4. If the queen bee dies, the worker bees can create a new queen bee by selecting a young larva and feeding it special food called royal jelly, which allows it to become a fertile queen. Fact number 5. Almost 90% of wild plants and 75% of leading global crops depend on animal pollination. This means that 1 out of every 3 mouthfuls of our food depends on pollinators like bees. Fact number 6. The average bee only makes 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in its lifetime. Fact number 7. Honeybees have a dance move called the waggle dance. It's their clever way of communicating with each other so they know where to find the best source of food. Fact number 8. A honeybee can fly up to 6 miles and as fast as 15 miles per hour. Fact number 9. They use the scent in their feet to find their family. Bumblebees have the ability to use their footprints to distinguish between their own scent, the scent of relatives, and the scent of strangers. This helps them improve the success of finding food and lets them avoid flowers that have already been visited. Fact number 10. Bees need our help, and we can all do our bit, whether it's planting a range of flowers so bees can access the nectar from March to October, or talking to our friends and family about creating bee-friendly spaces. We hope you enjoyed learning about bees, and let us know in the comments which animal you'd like to hear about next. So don't forget, like and subscribe so that you never miss a video.
Okay, so that is our story, and that's our video to teach you a little bit more about bees. Now, I want you to think about, because I asked you to listen and I asked you to use your mind, okay? So I want you to think about and answer, why did Creator make Amu? Why did Creator make bee? Okay, that's the first question. Question number 2 is, who did Creator send down when there wasn't enough honey? Question number 3 is, what bush did the flower people make that's scratched? What bush did the flower people make? And then last one, and I want you to think about this because the answer is not in the story, but why did Amu get a stinger? And one last question is, in the beginning of the story, it said this story took place a long time ago when the people could talk to the animals, right? So a long time ago, people could talk to the animals and the plants and the trees. And I want you to think about why. Why were the people able to talk to the animals, the plants, all the beings in creation, and why we can't talk to those today, right? Because in the story, the flowers were responding to the questions of the people as well as the bees. So, and that's an important question. And the answer to that question is, a long time ago, when humans were new, when Creator placed people on the world, Creator gave the people laws and rules on how to live. We were supposed to only take what we needed, not to waste anything. And we were supposed to respect the plants, the animals, the water, the air, the trees, all the other beings. And if we took anything from nature, we were supposed to give back, right? So when we take something from nature, if I want some medicines or some plants to harvest, I put tobacco down and I give thanks, and that's reciprocity. I give back for that life I'm taking. And I ask that plant or medicine permission that I can use it, and I give thanks and I put the tobacco down, right? And that's a protocol we follow today, right? So the people were able to talk to the plants and the animals, but after a while, the people forgot those rules they were given to live by. They got greedy, they took more than they needed, and they weren't treating other beings with respect. And I think that's why Creator took that ability away, to be able to talk to the plants and animals. So it's so important, boys and girls, that we show respect to all life, because what happens in our world is everything has a gift. Everything has something to share with something else, right? So all life on Mother Earth depends on something else for its survival. Everything is helped by something else. And there's a Cree law or a teaching, we call it Wakotoin. And Wakotoin is a kinship term. It means how we're related to others. And in that law, it means we are all connected. All life is connected like this. We're not separate. We're not like this. We're connected to everything else because we all drink the same water. Every living thing on Earth needs water. The plants, the animals, the insects, the fish, everything needs water to live. So we're all connected through it, right? Most of us need air, most of the beings, or CO2. So the trees breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen. The trees and the plants do this, right? So all animals, mammals, humans, every animal breathes in oxygen and gives off CO2. So all the plants are dependent upon the mammals and the people and the mammals are all dependent on the plants, right? Without one, we can't have the other. And that is a quick teaching of how we're connected to all life. Everything depends on something else for its life, so we can live and survive. And because of that, it's so important we respect all life. right? We respect those bees, respect those mosquitoes, respect the trees, respect the plants. And that teaches us about humility, right? And the teaching, I think sometimes people, we put ourselves up here, we feel we're very important, more important than other beings, right? Other beings are here, but no, we are equal with every living thing on earth. And that's a humility teaching, right? We're not more important than anything else. Everything is just as important as us as people. And we need to remember that and think about that as we're here on our earth walk, that we treat all life with respect. We don't waste and we don't damage things unnecessarily, right? And in that story, that Amu just gave its honey in the beginning, right? It was very generous, right? And that's kind of how the world works and all life. We're generous to each other. We give to something else so that we can help something else live, because something has to give us something so we can live, right? The plants give us food, the animals give us food, Mother Earth gives us water, and we need to walk with wisdom. We need to understand that. And once we understand that, we can use that wisdom to be kinder to all life, to walk in a better way, to not damage, to not litter, to not harm things, right? So don't litter in the water, keep the water clean. Don't litter Mother Earth, keep Mother Earth clean, right? And that's a good way to be. And I think that's a beautiful teaching for all life, right? That we got to respect all life. And it's just so beautiful the way Creator designed where we live and designed Mother Earth. And it's so important that we take care of Mother Earth and love all beings. Now, with that, I thank you for joining for my session, and I wish you a good Earth Day. And I want you to go out today, and when you get home, I want you to go outside somewhere, take some time, breathe some fresh air, and give thanks for that air that it's given itself to you. I want you to look around, and I want you to pay attention to the beauty Creator put out there. The grass, the land, the animals, the air, everything you see. And I want you to give thanks for all those beings that help us to live, to give us life, right? And next time you take a drink of water, I want you to give thanks for that water. Just tell that water, thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me life today. Thank you for sharing your gifts, right? And if we can walk every day this way, every day of our life, our earth walk will be beautiful. And that's the way Creator intended. With that, I thank you for joining me today. And I wish you the best. And until we meet again, I will see you again next time. Bye for now.